Bloody planes. Testing 1, 2, 3. Bloody helicopters.
I'll tell you, up close, it's amazing. It really is amazing up close.
Okay, so from one little pop-up to one big pop-up, I've actually come to the Carriageworks in Redfern, and it's like there's a photo exhibition going on, pop-up. Don't call it a pop-up. Probably this one is a pop-up. And the reason why I came, obviously, because yesterday I was at the pop art at Burwood with Human, is because this one has George Byrne. He's one of my favourite photographers. I actually bought one of his books. If you don't know who George Byrne is, he's Rose Byrne's brother. There's a little fact for you. Anyway, yeah, if you don't know who George Byrne is, look him up. I've got his books. I did a video about it actually. I really like his work because it's very, I don't know what you call it. It kind of reminded me of street photography, but with no people in it, which is kind of the topic which is, Jay, what are you doing? You got an itchy bum. He takes kind of like mundane crap and just makes it amazing. A lot of post-editing. If you go to Redfern station, it's just a walk up the road. I think it used to be the old Carriageworks. Oh, that's why it's called the Carriageworks, Rob. It's quite big apparently, and it's all arty-farty in there now. No more trains. Now the original idea that the guys over at Burwood did in Don't Call It a Pop-Up was that let's get away from the whole Instagram thing and move into, kind of the real world. Let's get offline, and this whole Instagram flick. Now that's on the wall, you can't flick the wall. Well, you can walk right past it if you want, but it's the whole idea of taking it to the next. Well, taking it back, not to the next level. The next level was the internet. Now we're moving back to the galleries, and that's a good thing, if you ask me. Yeah, something to think about anyway.
We come from pillars in Burwood to 4 pillars in Redfern. I think that's a coffee shop as well. There you go. We've upgraded from 1 pillar to 4 pillars. As per usual, I've gone completely the wrong way. It's actually this way where I started. Rob, you dumbass.
But I think for now, it's just like something.
This one looks awesome. Mick Jagger, Madonna, Bowie. John Lennon, look, Yoko Ono, Rolling Stones, far out. These are Jagger rocking a Polaroid. That's a beauty. And I think the internet hijacked this one. That's very famous, that one. Yeah, actually, this one is the head-on. This one I've been to at Bondi. This one where you walk along the foreshore, and it's also in the pavilion as well. The head-on festival, it's quite famous. It's one of Australia's most famous ones. Head-on. You can actually take your dog like this one. Exhibition called Head On, and I thought, Jerry's never been to Bondi before, so Jerry! Jerry, you nearly broke my camera. Jerry. Yes, Jerry, you're always playing. Actually, it was really just a pop-up. It was so small. They've only taken a little bit of the section of the whole gallery and they've made it a little, it literally is just a little pop-up. But anyway, I'll tell you, up close, it's amazing. It really is amazing up close. Much better than the book, obviously. But when you get up close, man, I tell you, it's unreal. It really just, I don't know, I can't explain it.
I moved to Los Angeles, and that's what was really the trigger for this body of work. And in many ways, I sort of found my muse, the landscape that clicked with me. I started to work in colour, I shifted away from black and white, and there's a style of photography that, sorry, isn't that old? It sort of started in the sort of 70s and 80s, really. It's just sort of like a building with no one in it, but there's remnants of activity, you know, a hole in the wall, footprints, tire tracks, oil. So you're sort of seeing an image that has the traces of human activity but no human being. And that's kind of the grounding of what they call the new topographic photography movement, which is just sort of anti-landscape, they call it. So looking at urban space with no obvious subject matter. And you're trying to kind of capture the feeling in the air. That's, for me, what it is. And try to convey that through a photograph. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I wasn't very good with Photoshop or technology, but I just learnt the basics and then realised I could start to massage things into place and create different looking images. I've sort of making something new out of something old. And I have to say, the process of changing photographs is a bit, or was a bit sort of taboo, right? Mucking around with things can put people's nose out of joint a bit because you're like, photography's supposed to be telling the truth, and here you are, you know, changing the order of things. But that was the point of the work. And then also, this lightbox is mainly a Miami image. So everything's a little bit composite, but that's largely Miami. And then I also did a lot of shooting out in the deserts, which is this one and this one back here.
You have a lot of recurring images, like the palm trees and bollards. Do any of them have any symbolic meaning?
The bollard is probably my signature motif. Punctuates every second photo that I do. It is the most ubiquitous symbol of LA junk space. In LA, they're absolutely everywhere, and they're always colourful.
The shadow, there's a lot of patience, you got to wait,
Yeah,
a lot of waiting,
the shooting
timing.
of the work is not very glamorous or very fun. I'm often out in the heat, standing around waiting. I had to get to that location 2 hours early to sit there. And they thought I was scoping the place. So they kept coming up to me asking, "You good? You have But yeah, there is a lot of patience, but also a lot of luck, you know? Yeah, a lot of patience, a lot of sunscreen.
Remember this? Little Kodak thermo printer. It's actually really good for camera. I was going to take a photo. I was going to ask George for a selfie with this because his assistant loved it. She took a photo. She goes, "Where'd you get that? That's unreal." But anyway, I chickened out. He was talking to other people too much. I didn't want to butt in. Anyway, I took one photo. I'll stick it in my little... I actually bought his book, the blue version, a couple of years ago. So that'll be my ongoing little thing now on the channel. Every walk I do, I was going to do it with Jerry, but yeah, Anyway, so every video I do, I'll remember it, and I'll start collecting like a little scrapbook of this. Childish, yes, of course, but you know me. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is the actual book that I bought a couple of years ago. As you can see, I'm really a big fan of his style. Just the simplicity, you know what I mean? I've made a video before about this, so if you want to go check that out. But yeah, the shadow, there's the question I ask. What a dumbass question. But like, you know, industrial type, there's that bollard that he was talking about. Yeah, so George Byrne there's that famous one that was there. When he put a backlight on it, it really stood out. A lot of the stuff like, you know, that he added, it's real, but then he changes the hue, you know, a lot of post-editing, but not to the point where it's fake. It's just taken from different, I don't know. I don't really care, I just like it. So anyway, here's the little selfie. I got 716 out of 1500, signed by George Byrne. There you go, limited edition. So I'll add that to the little scrapbook. And there it is. No worries. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks so much for coming down. And feel free to ask me anything or write to me if you have any questions or anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.